back with you on part 2. Now, what did I do? Well, here's what I did. For my first 2 years in that business, literally, what I did was every single day I was looking for an opportunity to share my business with somebody. I was out looking to meet people. I was looking to network. As soon as I got somebody in the business, I would help them. I'd literally ask them and say, who's that 3 to 5 people, that handful of people, your core confidants, the people that literally on your word would do anything that you say? I mean, if you call them and ask them, they say, yes, I'll get together with you. I mean, they'll drop anything to get together with you. So who are those people? Well, as soon as I'd enroll a new person within the first 24 to 48 hours, I was attempting my best to be able to go meet with those 3 to 5 people. My goal was to enroll at least 1, preferably 2, and if possible, 3 in the first couple of days. And then, of course, we would go through the regular action plan, making their list, scheduling the first in-homes, starting to plug people in, teaching them how to approach people, the proper way to expose them to the information, teaching them the importance of 3-way calling and validation, and then, of course, how to properly enroll people and set them up in the plan. So that's what we were doing, literally every single day. During the holidays, during the summer, I literally worked every single day that was possible, every single day. I gave up a lot of things. You know, I used to go out and hang out with my friends all the time. See this river? I used to go out on the river. We used to go out on boats a lot. I used to do that a lot with friends. I quit doing that. I played music. I played in a band. Guess what? I wasn't playing music anymore. I was focused on building my business. But because of taking that focus, guess what happened? Totally changed my life. From 0 to 21 months, now I had 4 years of previous network marketing experience, but in this company, from the day I started to the 21st month, I topped a $1 million a year annualized income. Now that's with 4 years before that. So in my 5th year, 6th year, by my 7th year total, made a 7-figure income. So the question is, what do you do during the holiday time? What do you do during the summertime? Or wherever your country is, whatever your off seasons are, what do? You bump up the activity. My focus is I tried to increase my activity 3 to 4 times on average. That means I did everything I could to try to talk to 3 to 4 times more people during that time. Now, does that mean I didn't go to holiday parties? No, I went to holiday parties. Why? Because it's a great opportunity to run into people or to meet people. Did I not go out shopping? Of course not. I went out shopping. You know, I went out shopping because I would run into people that I haven't seen. And the natural thing, guess what happened? I'd see somebody, hey, what's going on? How you doing? They say, great. They say, how you doing? I say, I'm doing awesome. I say, what have you been up to? What's going on in your life? Everything going great? How are things going? And I would just get them talking about themselves. Then inevitably they would say, what's going on with you? And that'd be a great opportunity for me to tell them what's going on. Well, you know, I recently started an amazing business. Really? What kind? Telecommunications, which it was back then. And it's just a natural conversation. I mean, when you start a network marketing business, you have to make a list of people and you have to approach them, right? You have to invite them to be exposed, to evaluate your business. So whether you go out and run into somebody or whether you pick up the phone and call somebody, it's no different. So you don't give up anything in life, you just do it with a different focus. You do it with a different focus, a different awareness. But the key is this, you've got to set the goal. You've got to set the goal that you're going to bump up your activity 2 to 3 times during the course of these off seasons, at least, and 4 times if possible. But you can't say, I'm going to get my team to do it if you're not doing it yourself. Because I promise you this, if you're not doing it, they won't do it. They just won't. You know, you could be calling your team. Depending on technology at the time, you could be texting, you could be Voxing, you could be Facebooking. There's all sorts of ways you could stay in touch with people and just, you know, keep during the off-season time in touch. A lot of times, here's what happens, though. The leaders, they will slow down, and not only do they slow down in their activity, their productive activity, they slow down in their contact with their team. Doesn't matter if you reach the people. Doesn't matter if they call you back. The fact that you're still touching, they're still feeling you. They still know you're involved, you're in the game, you're engaged. That's all part of leading. So time of the year, that's a very important thing. Now, the second point that I wanted to talk a little bit about is change. And I've had a lot of people who have been messaging me, both through the industry site that I have, which is ScottyB Merker, the fan page on Facebook, and also within our personal team in my own business as well. And a lot of people have been saying, hey, you know, there seems like there's more and more change all the time. It seems like nothing stays the same. And guess what? Just like right over here where you see this home. That home's been there for, I don't know, 5 or 6 years, 7 years. But what's happening right out back there? There's change taking place. Looks like they're terracing in some gardens. Looks like they're putting in a swimming pool. There's change taking place. You know, that house that I showed you right over there on the point. There's change that's taking place. When I looked at that house just a few years ago, now it's painted kind of a grayish color. A few years ago, it was painted solid white. There's change taking place. I'm going to tell you this. In our world, change is going to be something that you see more and more and more. There was an amazing study that was done, and this study revolved around a program called fast tracking. They were taking the top graduates from the universities, the top universities here in the United States, and they would take them into these Fortune 500 and Fortune 100 companies, and they put them in a program called fast tracking. What their goal was to put them in a position and as quickly as possible take them into upper-level management, upper-level executive management as quick as they could. And the interesting thing is, they studied the people that succeeded, and they studied the people who obviously didn't succeed, the ones that failed at that program. And here's the interesting thing. You know what they found out about the people who failed? You know why they found out that they failed? Two top reasons. Number one was their lack of ability to integrate with or get along with different types of people. They could only kind of relate to a certain type of people. They didn't have the diversity to relate to multiple different types of people. Different educational backgrounds, different socioeconomic backgrounds, different religious backgrounds, different political backgrounds, different cultures, different things like this. The second thing they weren't able to do, first, not being able to relate to people from different backgrounds. Number two, they weren't able to accept change. Anytime there was change, it flustered them, or it frustrated them, or it froze them. You know, it was like paralysis of analysis. They couldn't take action. They couldn't move forward. Those are the top two reasons that people failed. Now, here's the interesting thing. Guess what? And they actually listed the top 10, and there were numerous different ones. Now, on the top 10 reasons why people succeeded in the Fast Track program, guess what the top two were? Number two, people's ability to relate and deal with different types of people. You know what the number one was? Number one was people's ability to adapt to and deal with change. So they were just reversed, but they were both the top two out of all the different things they evaluated. It's the top two reasons people fail and the top two reasons people succeed. The ability to deal with all types of people, number one, regardless of what their background is, and then number two is ability to deal with change. So I can tell you this, in our world today, where like I'm recording this video to you on my iPhone right now, you know, a brand new iPhone's out. I haven't even picked it up yet. I've got to go in and get that whenever I decide I want to go do it. But there's a brand new one, and you know what? I'm sure I'll have it soon enough, and then probably in a year or two there'll be another one that'll be out. And then in another couple of years there'll probably be another one that'll be out. I mean, you know, it's part of life. Change is happening more and more frequently than ever before, and it's never going to stop. It's only going to continue. So my suggestion to you is based on these fast track people. Again, this is top 1%. You're looking for top 1%, 5%, 10%, 20%. If you're watching this and you're watching it this far, you're somebody who says, I truly want to make it to the top. Not only financially, but in life in general. You're going to have to learn, number one, is how to deal with change. Change is inevitable. Change is fluid. Change is constant. One of the only things that's constant in life is change. It's always going to be happening, number one. And number two is you really got to learn how to deal with different types of people. Older people, younger people, different cultures, different color skins, different languages that they speak as their primary language. Maybe their secondary language is not that good. Look at my Spanish. It's horrible. I know a bunch of words, but can hardly put them together, you know. But people, guess what? Some people deal with me pretty well, some don't. So these are two things that you can be conscious of, be aware of, be focused on, and watch what starts to happen. Now I'm going to come back to you again in the next video. Hang tight.